Scholars, I hope you're all doing good today. Today we are going to start our CircuitsADI. So we're going to be performing an ADI like we normally would when we were back in school, except for that we're going to be doing our explanation virtually instead. Right, so the purpose behind this CircuitsADI is going to be to, well, our guiding investigation is going to be how do the conservation laws apply to simple circuits, both series or parallel. So throughout this unit so far, we've investigated, we've talked about charges, we talked about static electricity, we talked about current and circuits and how current flows through circuits, and we are going to be talking a little bit more deeply about, we're going to be investigating a little more deeply how these conservation laws apply to the circuits that you see in front of you, both series or parallel. So how are we going to be doing this? This is going to be a 3-day investigation, and today we're going to be starting by doing our proposal, right? So in order to create our proposal, you first we're going to do a quick do now, then we'll do a reading, and then you're actually going to take some time to write this proposal, right? So before we start, let's take a few minutes to answer this do now. So what can be conserved within a circuit, right? So think for yourself, you can answer it in your classwork document. What can be conserved in the circuit? Take the next minute to answer this, and when you're ready, press play to come back. Alrighty, so I'm not going to answer this to you right now. Actually, the reading that we're going to be doing is going to bring to light, shed to light what exactly is conserved within the circuit. So you probably, we talked about conservation of charge at the beginning of this unit, so you probably thought about that. You're heading in the right direction. Right, so there's a little bit more to it that you'll be discovering in the reading. Okay, so for the next 15 minutes, you're gonna read and take notes on the background information that's provided to you to help understand and answer the investigation questions of how do conservation laws apply to a simple series or a parallel circuit. Right, so the reading is the PDF that was attached in your Google Classroom, and it looks like this. Right, so you're going to read the first page, and then it gives you the task of what we're going to be doing. Right, so just as a reminder, because we can't do this in person, of course, we're going to be using a FET simulation that has access to all these different things. We won't be needing like clips or that kind of stuff, because we're just going to be using the FET simulation that we'd be using this whole time. To help guide our investigation. Right, and once you're done reading, then press play to come back, and we'll go over through building the proposal. Right, press pause now. Okay, great. So before we move on to explaining the proposal, let's consider, if charge and energy is conserved across all circuits, how can you test this law applies to, how can you test how this law applies to all the arrangements of circuits? What I mean about arrangements of circuits, if it's series or parallel. All right, so we are going to need to study a variety of series and parallel circuits and measure the voltage and current at multiple points within each circuit. So with this data, we can look for mathematical relationships to see how the conservation laws apply to the series and parallel circuits, and to see if these laws are universal with both type of circuits. Okay? So now you're going to take the next 20 minutes to write your proposal and then submit it. So in your classwork document, you have this proposal, you have your investigation proposal that you are familiar with already, right? So we've been using this kind of format for pretty much the whole year. So you're going to write the guiding question here, and then what kind of data are you collecting? How will you help? How is it going to help you answer the guiding question? How will you collect the data? What will the rough procedure be? What safety precautions will you have to follow? You don't have to consider that now because it's all virtual. And then how will you analyze your data? Right? Again, keep in mind that you're using this PhET simulation to guide you that to solve. Eventually, you're going to be using this PhET simulation to complete your investigation. Right? So again, take the next 20 minutes to do this. If you have any questions, you can ask your teacher. And once you're done, submit that proposal for approval on Google Classroom, and that will be all for today. Right? I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Take care all.